Hello, fabulous superstar Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. It will be on the 15th of the month that we will have this month's new moon. Now, this new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with money you earn, money you spend, self-love, self-esteem. It has to do with your possessions and what you value, especially in terms of the things that you have. Now, this is actually a very fortunate new moon. I love this energy for you. New moons bring with them new opportunities. This new moon is part of a larger configuration that astrologers call a kite formation. It is supremely harmonious, but it does suggest that a need for balance and also acceptance might need to be practiced in order to make the most of the potential here. And so we get that new moon. On the one hand, it is speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter and Uranus, both of those moving through the top of your sky. It's also speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. Pluto is in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your work, the actual things you do well. But then we've got Neptune across that new moon. And that Neptune is the tricky part. That's where there may need to be a balance. And that has to do with your fantasies, a more idealistic vision, and what actually is. That has to do with keeping in mind that in order to make money, it isn't necessarily that you have to give a lot or go into debt. That's where you do want to be careful if opportunities like that are presenting themselves to you. Opportunities rooted in commission can be tricky, but opportunities rooted in the work that you are actually doing, having a set rate, well, that's where the new possibilities really start to open up for you. But also, this could be you having wonderful money-making ideas, or maybe having new understandings of what prosperity and abundance is going to mean for you now. This could be a time when you're looking at taking on new possessions, buying things, but you do want to be mindful not to go into debt in order to acquire those things. As long as you strive to keep balance with what you're borrowing versus what you're earning and spending, as long as that's balanced, this can be a time when you're absolutely moving towards greater abundance than you knew before. And so overall, these energies are remarkably special. This is a time of moving towards more opportunity. However, if you tap into that energy asking for balance, well, you'll find truly there's abundance everywhere. As we navigate forward, it is going to be the 29th of the month that we have this month's full moon. This full moon is a little tricky, I do want to say. The full moon is not far in the sky from Chiron, and that is the major celestial connection that the full moon is making. So ultimately, there's a certain isolated quality to what is happening at this time. Having said that, though, the full moon is one that heightens vulnerability, and especially for you in a part of the sky that has to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, more personally, the beliefs that guide your life. So for some, it could just be a time of questioning. Remember, as I always like to say, faith that questions itself is healthy. It's when faith doesn't question itself that it can go in all kinds of directions that really is not a good way to go about things. In all kinds of ways, we look at this in terms of world events, we look at this in our own lives and the people that we know. When faith is healthy, it's going to question itself, and this could be a questioning of faith that happens for you at this time. Embrace the time, embrace the process. On the same day, we've got Venus square Uranus. I'll talk a lot more about Venus in just a moment when we get to the love portion of this video, even just before. But the fact that we've got this very important alignment, the third and final time, as part of the larger Venus retrograde season, that Venus and Uranus are going to align, does suggest a shocking surprise quality becomes part of what is taking place with that full moon, that questioning. And so be open to new understandings. What's new may lead to that questioning, and yet is a valuable part of helping you to find new understandings, answers that suit who it is that you have now become. Full moons bring with them closure. This full moon has got all the feels, so lots of emotion and sensitivity becomes part of the closure. That can work really well where it comes to something like a legal matter, immigration, citizenship, if you've been engaged in a matter with an institute of higher learning. This is where you get your answers. And even if it's hard, even if it makes you feel vulnerable, you're able to get the answers you need, have the developments take place that allow you to put this chapter behind you in some way. And that can be very encouraging. Where it is that you are doing some traveling, know that this can be a time when you see things very differently. You understand the world around you differently as a result in some way. And that could have you feeling very emotional at this time as well, but ultimately is meant to help amplify your compassion for those around you. And by those, I mean the world around you as well. New opportunities, though, that's where you want to be careful. There's not a lot of legs to this particular full moon. What I mean by that is because it isn't making any really important alignments with other big power players in the sky, because of its isolated quality, what happens in this area of life tends to stay here. So if it is something brand new, ideally we like to see different areas of the chart kind of lit up, different ways in which you're bringing different skills and tools in to make advancement. Because the quality is somewhat more personalized than that, it does suggest that what happens now sort of stays compartmentalized, and that could actually work to your advantage. Now, where it comes to matters of love, let's talk about that because that is the big news, especially for the Leos out there. It is going to be the 3rd or 4th of September, depending on where you are on the planet, that Venus officially goes direct, but is going to remain in shadow into next month, right to the 9th of October, after which time the shadow period ends, Venus leaves your sign, and we're good. You're not going to have any more Venus retrograde season for you with Venus in your sign. The big important moment, a peak moment that I think is going to be highlighted very strongly this month is going to happen on the 29th. Within hours of a full moon, we get Venus square Uranus. Venus is in your sign. Romantic surprises do not go as planned. What you think is going to happen romantically may turn out to be something very different in a way that may take you aback. So it's important to pace yourself at this time and strive to stay honest with you. I think that may be part of the biggest surprises of all. It is at this time that love, your own feelings, your own understanding of your truth or the truth of a key situation may take you by surprise. Now, I should also mention, just stepping outside of love for just a moment, all things Venusian that I've been talking to you about in the monthly videos, in the Venus retrograde special horoscopes, in the superstar space as well. And I've been saying, this is not the time to make big aesthetic changes. Celebrate your unique beauty with what is already around you, with what you already have. That's the gift of Venus retrograde. But where it is that you're going in brand new directions, that's where things really can go an unexpected way. That becomes very true this month, especially late in the month. So pace yourself and be yourself, as I like to say, but also if you're waiting for the right moment, the right time to finally get that brand new wardrobe that you've been dying to get, or dramatically change your hair color to something it never has been before, the full moon ain't the time to do it, I would say. But of course, do whatever it is that feels right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. Now, for those of you open to meeting someone new, keep in mind that energy at the beginning of the month as Venus changes directions can represent a very important light bulb moment. It could be related to how you feel about love in general, but most likely it is going to be focused towards someone that you might have had your eye on, that you were interested in, that you hoped something could come about, or maybe you've had your own mixed feelings around. Venus changing directions is about clarity. However, you do want to watch the energy late in the month because there is very likely to be some interaction with another person that feels like it opens your eyes in an instant. Where you are in love and how you feel about it starts to look very different under the light of the full moon at the end of the month. For those of you just starting to date someone, if ever there was an energy that said truth, that is it. Truth is written all over this month. At the beginning of the month, yes, you should start to feel as if you're starting to get a sense of who this person really is. There's greater clarity that starts to find you. However, where it is that perhaps certain nuances need to be addressed, or a real sense of all or nothing, that is set to take place late in the month. In fact, I would pay attention to what's happening at the end of the month because your realizations are going to feel like they come out of nowhere. There's a surprise a minute here, but it's that moment where either it's ripping off a Band-Aid, going a whole other way, or realizing that this is someone you really want to leap forward with. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. In the context of established bonds, well, this can be one of those moments that has you feeling as if some confusion or mixed feelings around a key matter for you and your partner start to feel more and more behind you as you move more and more into this month. Now, if it is that you know you've got a great relationship, it's the right relationship for you, late in the month, it could be other factors that are taking you by surprise, or it could just be a romantic surprise that doesn't go as planned. Your partner or you behave in a way that your partner didn't expect. And so there's that sense of surprise for one or both of you as to the behavior of the other. However, if it is that you've had real questions as to whether or not this is the right person for you, I think that you will know your answer in an instant as we navigate to the last days of the month. And what you do with it is always up to you to decide in light of your unique circumstances. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say, I love how the energies now are leading you towards love, is really what it comes down to. Venus going direct in your sign. This is the wrap-up that's taking place. As you navigate this time, chances are you'll come to see and know yourself differently, more clearly than perhaps you felt you understand in months. That's because now you're seeing more clearly from heart, and that could change your perception of yourself. And when that changes, truly everything changes around you. Well, thank you so much for watching. September 1st is my 17-year anniversary as a full-time astrologer. And every year I have a 24-hour biggest sale of the year over on my website, NadiyaShah.com. Make sure you're following me on social media. Every 6 hours we launch incredible once-a-year discounts. I hope you absolutely love them. And thank you for your love and support all these years. Now, if you want to know and you want to get a video just like this one each and every week for each and every sign, log on to NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive video scopes for all signs for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.